Baby boomers are going to make you rich in 2025. And they won't just make you rich, they're going to set you up for generational wealth. We are undergoing one of the largest transfers of wealth in the history of the United States right now. And very few people know how to take advantage of this. I caught wind of this opportunity in 2019, and since then I've made over $3 million utilizing this strategy for this opportunity. If you're over the age of 25 and if you've ever worked a job before, then you can do this. Many times for little to zero down. But this window won't last forever. So listen very closely to what I'm about to tell you. If you've ever used a local laundromat, HVAC company, plumber, accountant, you'll know that these services are in high demand. Maybe you heard about them from a friend and everyone else you know uses them. But what you probably didn't know is how much money that these businesses make. They are cash flowing machines and make up around 43.5% of the United States GDP. That's almost half our economy. But here's the catch. The average age of the business owners that run these businesses is over 50 years old. These aren't the same young people from the 90s who are running around the store and doing everything by themselves. They're worn down, maybe a few of them have some joint problems, and some of them are coming to the end of their natural life. They are ready to cash in on their decades of hard work. But here's the problem. They have no one to sell them to. And here's why. Ever since the baby boom, when these boomers were born, birth rates have plummeted. People are having fewer kids each year. Up here you have all these boomers who are running these businesses and they're begging to retire, to finally be done after breaking their back for all these years running these businesses. And down here you have this small, entitled generation that can very well take advantage of these businesses that their older counterparts had already built for them, but they just don't want to. So there is a massive supply and demand imbalance. There's a huge supply of profitable businesses and nobody wants to buy them. And what happens when supply outpaces demand? Prices plummet. Some of these massive profitable businesses are going for dirt cheap. All because A, very few people know about this, and B, no one wants to take ownership these days. Everyone is sleeping on this. Now you're probably saying to yourself, Ben, this sounds great, but where do I even find these people? It's not like I'm going to go on Instagram and start messaging my parents' friends. They are everywhere. I mean, just take a drive around locally. I bet if you went into some of these businesses and talked with these owners, they would start expressing their interest in selling. But even if you don't want to do that, that's fine. There are websites that exist that act as a marketplace for people who are looking to buy and sell these boring businesses. BizBuySell.com is one of them, and it's one of the easiest ways to identifying these opportunities. Back 20 to 30 years ago, these websites did not exist. Business acquisition was something that was only available to snobby M&A people and hedge fund guys. Trust me, I worked in finance, and these types of people are nearly unbearable. But now the internet has democratized this process entirely, which is how people like you and me can take advantage of this opportunity. I am living proof that small business acquisition is the future. I went from slaving away at JP Morgan where I barely got to see my wife to now owning 7 different businesses that generate me over $850,000 a year in cash flow. And I'm only 34 years old. I've watched countless other people do this without any business degree or having a background in finance. One of my favorite stories I like to tell is one of my students named Melissa. Melissa was a school superintendent in New Jersey, and she decided that she no longer wanted to work the 50, 60-hour weeks that she'd been doing for the last couple decades, and she wanted to acquire a business. She ended up finding a commercial pool cleaning company in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and in year 1, she's going to be doing over $300,000 in cash flow, which is more than double what she was making as a school superintendent. She did this all in less than 9 months. Then you have my 2 other students, Ben and Andrea, who bought a medical clinic. Now, both of their backgrounds is in medicine, and they were able to find a medical clinic that a boomer was selling, and in year 1, after everything is said and done, they were able to get 100% financing on this deal, so 0 money out of pocket, and they're going to be walking away with over $500,000 in cash flow. And one of my students, who's actually Canadian, did a full seller finance deal in Canada where he found a trailer company, and he was able to structure it to where he had very little out of pocket as a down payment, and he's going to be making over $100,000 a year in cash flow in his first year. 100% without any bank involved. These people are not traditional business owners. None of them owned a business previous to going out and acquiring one. Instead of listening to what these boomers say, like get a corporate job or a job in finance. You should instead pay attention to what they are actually doing, which is buying and owning businesses. There is no exaggeration when I say this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. The demographics do not lie. This isn't some fake scarcity that's meant to get you to buy into some kind of info course. This is hard data on the US population and economy that experts have been talking about for years. I'm just one of the few lucky ones who got started in this fairly early, and I'm going to be sharing everything I've learned in the process so that you don't have to burn tens of thousands of dollars and waste hours searching online like I did. Now, I've actually put together an entirely free course here on YouTube breaking down how to start acquiring businesses step by step with little to none of your own money. It's going to be linked somewhere around here. And I've also put together even more free resources in the description below that explain this opportunity in more detail. You can download them with the first link that you see. Thanks for watching, and go buy some businesses.